What's up? Gonna do things a little differently this time. I'm gonna have my phone as kind of like a thing. So if I'm looking down, looking forward, you guys understand. I'm about 8 months into real estate as of right now, right? I started June of last year in 2024. Had a rockin' 5 months. Made roughly 40 grand in 5 months. I'd say that's pretty damn good. Just saying. Obviously, there's taxes and other stuff that still have to come out, but needless to say, it's roughly what I did. I've been on the buy side, I've been on the list side. Uh, Using my skill set as a photographer, videography has helped me out tremendously with listings, right? That's where I'm going to try to capitalize my business. But yeah, um, things have changed. I know some of you may know, some of you may not. I was in business, or I had a business partner, Farrell, for the last 5-ish months or so, and basically decided to go out as a solo agent. I learned a lot. She is an impressive woman. She knows her shit inside and out, and does incredible work. We just have different ways of marketing, different ways of doing things right. And I almost think when you have two strong people that are essentially doing the same thing, sometimes it can be complicated. And yeah, so I just think difference of opinions, we split, no hard feelings. Super excited to see what she does over the next year. She's crushing it already. Multiple listings coming up already. So kudos. But needless to say, I'm going out as a solo agent going into 2025 and beyond. Gonna give this a real shot for me, because of me, essentially, right? I'm gonna use the skill set and the branding and all the things that I know how to do to push me forward. I know, like, people have different perspectives of when I say this, but like, essentially, anytime I am behind this camera, pointing it towards somebody else other than myself, I'm branding and doing marketing for somebody else other than myself. And this year and for now on, I want the focus to be on me, right? I want to grow my brand, my business, my thing, and honestly do it kind of my way, right? I'm bold, I'm abrupt, I swear, shit, damn, whatever else, right? Like, I'm 100% authentically me, and take it or leave it, right? And I think for me, it's gonna do well. And I genuinely believe people either your vibe attracts your vibe. I hear people say it all the time, and I think Ramneek has said it to me probably a dozen times, right? So I wanted to go out solo because I can really focus on me and what works for me and my way. Also, essentially, I'm taking a bet on myself, right? And I think there's no greater person to bet on than me because I control my outcome. Nobody else. I can't point fingers at anybody else. I can't really blame anybody, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's me. But I also want to have that same feeling when I reach success and I'm able to do big things and I'm able to make the impact I think I can. Because at the end of the day, I have always prided myself on wanting to help as many people as possible, whether that's buyers, sellers, real estate agents, loan officers, title reps, people in the running community, people in the fitness community, people in the nonprofit community, like all the things, right? Like, I've done all this stuff to always help people, and that's the way that I want to keep it. So essentially, I'm doubling down on me, and I'm excited about it. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned I have my phone here, so I'm just going to kind of glance down, read some notes, and keep going. Full transparency, right? Because I think a lot of times we forget, or oftentimes agents make it sound like real estate agents don't make as much money as they actually do. It's crazy, right? For the amount of work we do, like actual man hours of work, yes, it can be stressful. Yes, there's like emotions involved and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you get paid very, very well as a real estate agent. And it's taken me a little while to kind of come to my own with this, right? And for a while, like just a few weeks ago, I was saying to myself, like, I really want to focus on North Scottsdale. That's where I live, right? So I love it up here. It's beautiful. Homes are spectacular, right? Average price point in North Scottsdale is like $1 million plus, right? But the more I thought about it, And the more I looked at it, and after I went out and shot some listing videos and stuff for another agent in Mesa, I was like, Mesa's really not that far. Queen Creek is really not that far. Buckeye is really not that far. Like 45 minutes, an hour. And even if you're a listing agent, how many times do you really have to go out to the home to sell the house, right? If I'm doing content, I can spend days out there, shoot photo, video, social media content, all the things, right? And do it. Plus, if they need me to come out for open houses or whatever else, like, we're not talking an ungodly amount of time. And so the more I thought about it, I was like, realistically, I should take listings anywhere, at least in the Valley, right? Obviously, I'm not going to take listings up in Sedona or Flagstaff or down in Tucson, right? Because that's a little much, right? Let's keep it comparable, right? But the thing I also thought about is oftentimes agents that are listing those, let's say anywhere from $300,000 to $800,000 homes, aren't necessarily giving them the attention that I believe they deserve, right? They might do photography. Every once in a while they'll do an MLS video, but that's where they kind of leave it at. For me, I'm like, every listing deserves high-end photography, high-end videography, multiple pieces of social media content, ads, YouTube, everything should be pushed out on everything possible for every single listing that you have, because they all deserve it. At the end of the day, you're making a lot of money, right? A lot. I don't care if it's a $300,000 home or a $22 million home. The amount of effort you should be spending on a listing should be the same. Now, ad dollars and some other things that are like ancillary to that can be different, right? Obviously, if I'm hiring models or if I'm hiring multiple videographers or something to come out and shoot like a multi-million dollar listings, I get it. But below that, you're still making enough to actually put those things in. But so many agents have this scarcity mindset that they're not sure where their next listing is going to come, so they have to save and pinch every dollar possible. And I do think there is something to be said for an agent who says, I know this house is going to sell regardless of what's going on, right? So I'm not going to put the money behind video. And I think that's false and should be pointed out in the sense of, number one, the reason why you do it is the more exposure, the better. The more exposure, the more likely you're going to get at list price or above, or at least close to it, right? In this market, it's a little tough. But I think the more emphasis you put and the more eyes you have on any given property, the more likely it's going to be to sell close to that list price or above. Secondly, I also think as a real estate agent, why would you not want as much content as possible with your name attached to it? Helps you with branding, helps you with all the things. So for me, that is something I'm definitely going to double, triple, quadruple down on going forward, is everything's going to be treated like $1 million listing, right? Dirt lot still sitting there, and I'm going to be out there creating more content for it because it deserves it, right? This thing, just because it's different and hard, doesn't mean we should just give up, throw in the towel, and just leave it on the MLS and hope and pray that it sells. It's not fair to the client. It's not fair to us as individuals, right? Like, why would you put in all this effort and work if you're not going to see it through? I digress. My next piece, my next kind of point of like real estate, what's the word I'd like to use? Because I always say it, like, real estate's easy, but it's a grind, right? I say that all the time, but I was trying to figure out another way to say it, but essentially it is easy, right? The actual act of doing real estate, filling out contracts, negotiations, all those things, right? Like, if you're an average salesperson, like, real estate's phenomenal. But it is a grind, right? I always refer to like the hamster wheel. If you're not on the hamster wheel, you're not keeping up, because you always have to be doing something. And what you're doing and putting in the work now is like 3 to 6 months later. So I think it's definitely a grind, but let's not overcomplicate it, right? Let's also make real estate fun again, where we don't have to be stressed all the time. There's emotions involved. It's people's money, right? It's one of the largest purchases anyone will ever make. But at the same time, like, it's just real estate at the end of the day, right? Nobody is dying because of this. So like, let's take it for what it really is, folks. Like, calm down, It's going to be okay. I promise. And if you're working with me, I'm pretty chill and good at what I do, and I will definitely work my ass off for you. And so let me do the stressing. Let me do the worrying. Just focus on making sure the house is clean. Do all the things that you need to do, right? But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Like, in a nutshell. The last thing that I wanted to bring up, and this is why I'm making this video, kind of in a sense, is chatted with my mentor, figuring out my 3 pillars of ways that I'm going to get business, right? Number 1 is social media, because I love it. I do it on a daily, right? Creating videos, photos, content, everything. That's one of my pillars. Number 2, YouTube. So this video that I'm creating now is my first of going to be many, and excited to explore more in that world. And then number 3 is going to be open houses and just trying to build a database and a network and pieces, right? And then in there is obviously Sphere, which is going to be running community, fitness community, clients, other things that I have going on. And speaking of clients, this kind of leads me into my last little segment of I'm going to be spending the majority of my time really focusing and dialing in on my real estate business. Sorry, I'm tapping on myself so I track it. My real estate business is really where I want to spend the majority of my time, right? I've done the marketing thing for the last 9-ish years, and I can make this real estate thing really work for not only me, my family, multiple others, right? I think I can make a larger impact as a real estate agent than I can as a marketing company. Not to say I'm giving up my marketing company, but I'm not looking to take on new clients. If things come up, obviously people I've worked with in the past, all of those things, like I will continue to do it, but 90% of my focus is really going to be on this real estate thing. And I think when you do that, and when I made that call myself, it gave me all sorts of anxiety and different things, because I'm like anyone else. I like what's comfortable. And this is kind of stepping into somewhat of an unknown, right? Obviously, I've helped real estate agents a lot, so I understand the marketing and stuff for real estate, but it's different as an agent. It's also different being on this side of the camera versus the other. But yeah, I'm really going to double down on myself and try to create the best version of myself as a real estate agent, right? And I think the number one way to do that is to really go all in, focus, do the videos, do the work, do the listings, do all the things, and make it work. So you guys, thank you so much. If you've made it this far, you guys are amazing. I really, really, really appreciate it. If you happen to be looking to buy, sell, whatever else, if you're looking for marketing advice, all the things, reach out to me. I am super happy to help anyone. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe. Again, I'm going to be putting out these videos a lot more often, so be on the lookout. Hit the notification bell. I'd love it. And you guys, 2025 is going to be amazing, and I would love to help you any way possible. So hope you guys have a fantastic month, year, future, and we'll see you on the next video. You!